Okay, welcome to part 6. Let's get going.
The musical episode, The Great Barrier Reef, starts with this coral polyp named Corey, and he's singing about how small he is.
How will a small little guy like me make it in this big city?
We see Gup W, it looks like a whale. It's a
Whale!
mobile medical base with nurse robots.
Yes. I think we needed that.
The main plot is a huge group of crown of thorns starfish are coming to eat the entire coral reef, which is home to many creatures. So the Octonauts have to stop them in song. Listen, I'm a musical lover, and I understand enjoying songs sung spontaneously during the most high-stakes part is the biggest form of suspending your disbelief, and I usually have no problem with that. But listen, this is the goofiest musical I've ever seen. Barnacles in every other episode would be like, stop guys, we need to focus, this is serious. There is no world where he would sing, we'll save the day with 1,000 pies. And that's actually what happens. Also,
Wait. What?
one more thing about this special that actually boggles my mind. Why was there a Vegimal in an Octonauts satellite at the end? And if they're going to casually throw that in there, can they at least follow it up with something equally as silly? Like, have the Vegimal be like,
Oops, I accidentally pushed the musical button. That's why this all happened.
Maybe God Gumball accidentally pushed the musical button. Maybe that's the reason musicals happen. Also, how'd they save the day with pies?
I'll make sure not to make that mistake again.
and damn right you won't, but let's finally talk about the Vegimals.
Yay! I already confirmed in iShy review that the Vegimals are aliens. So, let's see what her theories are.
What the fuck is this?
The Vegimals are nothing more than a cutesy joke in the books. They say they're all the same, which is very rude. The Vegimals in the TV show at first only speak Vegimalese, which only Shellington understands, but throughout the series they learn more English.
Yeah. Tunip even knows full English in iShy review. He just has a baby voice.
Or whatever language you're watching the Octonauts in. The Vegimals have their own garden to grow seaweed because that's the main ingredient in most of the things that they cook and bake. They make food for the whole crew. In Season 2, Episode 6, Tunip's idea of having the bowhead whales free the narwhals from the ice is at first overlooked. But eventually, once Tunip is heard, that's the plan they go with, and that's the plan that works. Tunip and the Vegimals are very smart and an essential part to the group. Tunip
And here I am making him airheaded.
is even seen taking a more active role in missions, volunteering to help look for jawfish eggs in the next episode. In Season 2, Episode 16, we are made aware of the existence of Vegimal pox. They need red algae to make the medicine for this, but it falls into moray eels territory. So they enlist the help of Dr. Inkling's friend, a mimic octopus named Mortimer. Mortimer is theatrical and iconic.
Yes, we need that seaweed. Help the Vegimals. They're too cute to die.
And Quasi hates being upstaged by him, which is very fun. Cheeky banter. Mortimer is so extra, even Captain Barnacles has notes. Sorry, this is the Vegimal section, but I just had to talk about him. In the special of Very Vegimal Christmas, when the Vegimals are preparing a Christmas meal, all the Octonauts get stuck in sea snot, which is apparently a real thing. Barnacles calls the Vegimals and asks them to watch a training video on how to deal with this exact situation. After the Vegimals struggle to operate separate gups, they decide to build their own gup. The Gup V. It's a train, so each of them operates a car and drives it as a team.
Aww.
In this special, they speak English more, and we learn more of the names other than Tunip. We have Barrett, Gruber, Tomino, and Coddish. There are even more names of Vegimals on the wiki, but I don't know where they got those from. But the most important thing we learned from this special is how Shellington found the Vegimals. He found the eggs growing off the side of the octopod and decided to take them in to study them and save them from predators. He said they looked like half animals and half vegetables, so he called them Vegimals. In Season 3, we see that Vegimals don't get hurt from jellyfish stings. In fact, it tickles them. In the Season 4 episode Baby Sea Turtles, we see the Vegimals saving the baby sea turtles by giving the predators fish biscuits to eat. Which begs the question, where did Vegimals get fish for the fish biscuits?
Nah, I just say that the Vegimal species has the ability to make anything taste good. Doesn't matter what they use. They could use a pile of trash and the biscuits will taste good.
People will argue that everything the Vegimals make is vegetarian, but they give these fish biscuits to deter predators from eating the fish. I personally believe the fish biscuits are made from fish that die of shock or physical injury in the medical bay. Peso's amazing, but he can't save them all. Oh my gosh, you ruined my childhood. Oh no. If that's what ruins your childhood, you had a fucking amazing childhood, I hate to tell you. Now that we've addressed the Vegimals, let's go even deeper. What are the Octonauts? At the end of The Only Lonely Monster, Dr. Inkling exclaims, "The Sea Monster Field Guide said the Architectus Colosso Nutopus." Oh, not a nutopus. Anyway, this thing is the only one of its kind in the entire ocean. So it turns out the title was not clickbait. The Octonauts comfort the giant creature by revealing things about themselves that make them unique and one of a kind. The most fascinating of which being Tweak glowing in the dark.
How?
And also this image.
Get rid of that! Now!
In the season 3 episode Pelicans, we see a polar bear riding on a pelican's back.
How?
The Funko Pop build of these creatures is no coincidence. In both the book and the show, Peso has a closet full of bodysuits that just look like penguin skin. In the spin-off series we'll discuss later, we see other bears that have a completely different build than the polar bears. Why did polar bears evolve in this way? Well, in the season 4 episode Walrus Pups, we learn about the Polar Scout badges. They are given for helping, exploring, and learning new skills. Captain Barnacle's got every single one except for helping walruses because they're assholes and bullies.
Yeah.
For those of you listening in the background, imagine Barnacles being the saint he is, just trying to help every chance he gets, only for him to get tossed around by these giant tusked turds. Anyway, you already know by the end he got a bang. But here's where this fits into my theory. I think the species that evolved to be person-shaped, walking on 2 feet with a giant head, are the species that think about other animals and help the most. It's almost as if they replaced humanity as the dominant species after we failed our mission of helping the planet. Yikes. Ouch. But
Oof.
to be fair, they're doing a great job, so I can't be mad. But here's the part of the video that I point out the mystical forces at play that are nowhere to be seen in the TV show. Let's read a bit of Sea of Shade. For centuries, I watched through my shadoscope as shadows were stepped on and ignored. It's not easy to follow someone around all day, but we never get any thanks. Thank you for following me around all day, I guess. I'm supposed to thank them for being a stalker? Everyone would be happier if we just lived in our own world. That is why I called all my subjects home to the Sea of Shade. Now compare that to the series where Professor Inkling definitively says unicorns aren't real, but Vegimals are? Yeah, okay. But
Yeah, makes sense.
they'll never sing that creature report. Fact, Vegimals are not real. You know why? Because they kept the big-headed Octonauts and the Vegimals for branding. It's adorable. It's attention-grabbing. I understand that. And I love that it's educational, but when you have a totally different look for some animals, it feels intentional. I know
Yeah, like for example, here's something. The Octonauts got me thinking that comb jellyfish were these giant bouncy things, when in reality they're only as big as my fingernail. How? Next part, sorry.